Why did I ever think this was okay? Have you ever had one of those times where you look at a situation, a relationship, a job, and you think, what was I thinking? Why did I think this was going to work out? Why did I think that this yes was going to be okay? And it's not about you being an angry, bitter, or selfish person. When you start asking those questions, it's because you're gaining some clarity. You're starting to see. And when you start to see, it's time to take action. And it's not about somebody else changing, not the relationship, not the job, the people you work with, not the situation itself changing. It's about you healing. If you're new here, I'm Christy, the Comeback Mentor. And these are real conversations for women in midlife transition, navigating healing, maybe looking for their true identity and transition. So make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss an episode, I promise. One of the rather hushed truths about healing is that it doesn't make you feel better. Like the professionals tell you it's not going to hurt. It's going to be a healthy process. And then those who have gone through the process with them are like, oh my gosh, this hurt so bad. I don't feel any better. It's it's just it's just going to change what you're willing to live with. Mm-mm. If you're using the right healing process, you're going to get the right kind of healing. If you're using the wrong process, most definitely it's going to be a difficult journey. But if you are not focusing your healing in communication with our Creator, God, then your healing is going to take longer. When we're unhealed, we tolerate so much that we shouldn't that we shouldn't be. We say yes when we should say no. We keep quiet to not cause any waves. We explain or make excuses for people in our circle that we care about that step on other people's toes or say things about others or even ourselves. Yeah, we just kind of explain that away. We start normalizing emotional weight like that's what I'm here for. That's my job. I need to carry that weight. And we we keep silent but after fighting battles for so long, fighting for our right to speak, fighting for our emotional boundaries, our physical boundaries, it gets to the point of exhaustion. So we keep quiet to keep the peace and keep the focus off of us. When you have the right healing, when you decide that you're important enough to heal and have boundaries, and it takes root, your inner being, your inner compass recalibrates. Your original identity, your divine DNA starts to surface. You're not being selfish. You are investing in yourself, your happiness, and your future. Healing makes our thoughts and dreams and our visions become real. Because healing has taken away the cloud, the fog, the lack of clarity the procrastination, the things, um, the gifts and traits that we have that have been repressed by life, trauma, relationships that have gone very wrong, the things that have happened to us and of us in life gets buried and masked, and healing provides the way. You start noticing those conversations that drain you and you start walking away from them. Those worldly expectations or your friends and family or communities' expectations that are placed on you that you try to follow, you try to meet, you start to pay attention and realize that doesn't align with you. Why are you following somebody else's expectations and not your own? When you invest in yourself and your boundaries and your healing, you're going to start to feel a normalcy and the heaviness separate. Focusing on you is not selfish. We have to heal to have happiness. And this is where divine DNA shows up. Yeah, I get excited. Your original design was never meant to be shrink wrapped and squished down and not allowed to breathe and not allowed to see the light. Healing restores your light, your alignment, your tolerance levels for shenanigans and what doesn't meet your expectations and what is not meant to come through your boundary walls. Your tolerance for those things drops. And people can get mad if they want to, because getting mad is their problem. You're protecting you and who you were created to be. You're not rejecting them unless they want to be rejected. That's their problem, because you're not rejecting yourself anymore. I want you to sit with this for just a minute. What, grab your journal, what are you tolerating that you don't have a peace about? If you have stress, tension, internal turmoil with someone, a situation, a relationship, your job, um, your home, your state, what are you tolerating that you no longer have peace about? And there's reasons in there, and there's also solutions. Where have you been calling endurance or keeping the peace love? Where have you been calling that love? Now, these are um, some deep revelational questions. It's things you're going to have to face that you haven't wanted to face, because it's easier to bury them and not pay attention to them and submit and keep the peace and to make excuses for than it is to go through this process. And it's uncomfortable, yes. But what's on the other side? It's called healing. What clarity have you been, what insight, what feeling have you been just dismissing because it's interrupting your comfortable spaces or your familiarity. This is some deep work, but I promise it's going to be fruitful. We're going to keep having these conversations. Healing doesn't cause you to lose relationships. If those relationships are meant for you, they're going to appreciate and love the fact that you care enough about yourself to do this soul and inner work. It's going to show you exactly um, who cares deeply about you and who needs to be in your world in every situation. And that clarity, even though it's uncomfortable sometimes to let things and people go, it's part of your true comeback. I'm happy to have conversations with you on this. This is exactly the kind of heart level work we do inside of Renewed Heart Dreamers. We walk in alignment without guilt, without pressure, without excuses, in support and in community. I'll put the link for Renewed Heart Dreamers in the description. Your comeback matters, and I'm here for it. Are you? I'm here for you. Are you here for you? Let's do this. Have a blessed one.